Okay guys, so still going at it. It's a little bit slow going because I'm trying to do things right, and I already see that I'm going to have to move this hose clamp down to the underside here, but that's no big deal. So that's the titanium wrap material. I use stainless steel zip ties and stainless steel pipe clamps to hold it on. It's got no adhesive or anything like that, and the adhesive would probably melt or burn off anyways, so just put the oxygen sensor back on. Mine, these are kind of like a cap nut. It's just head studs that go into the head there, and so I've tightened those up as good as I can. Put a little bit of WD-40 on them because they were pretty rusty, and I really didn't want to go on too easy. So the next thing is I gotta try and find somebody that does aluminum TIG welding, so that I can take this bloody heat shield, which is aluminum, drill out the rivets, or either that or I'll just leave them, probably leave them, and just get that welded up a little bit so it's not going to loosen up with those stupid rivets. Then oh yeah, so I went and cleaned up the firewall. I peeled off all that aluminum tin foil that was on there, cut myself doing it, and there's this paper cut, but a couple times over. So I peeled all that crap off. I'm gonna probably get some brake clean, try and get the sticky stuff off. If not, I'll just leave it. And then I've got some material that I'm gonna put over that. That's supposed to be more fireproof or heat proof or whatever, and it's adhesive itself. So I'm hoping it works, and then we'll see from there. If not, if it keeps melting or deforming or anything like that, then I'm gonna buy that firewall for the 2016, I guess. I just don't want to have to do all this work and then go and take it all apart again. But it's actually a bit of a pain in the ass because you got to take all these plastics off. As I showed you guys before, I took the door off, took the seat belt off, fuel filler plastic piece. Heat shield, of course, came off. Oh, what a frickin' pain in the arse. And then, of course, I had a back window. I had the roof on here. I had to tilt up the box here like a dump truck almost. So, it's a lot of work. I've got nothing but tools and fasteners and stuff all over here. Plastic rivets, nuts, bolts. But at least the one thing Arctic Cat did somewhat right was that they used almost all the same size nuts and bolts. So, that part made it a little bit easier. This heat shield, I'm going to have to find a bolt that'll go in from the bottom here and keep that tight. I'm going to get some Loctite, tighten the crap out of that. Because I found nuts and bolts that were loose all over the place, so I'm going to go around tightening everything up. And if it's something like a heat shield or whatever, then I'll put Loctite on it and hopefully that'll stay. Now, I'm going to show you the muffler because you can sometimes on the inside here, I don't have enough light in here, but in the inside there's kind of like a honeycomb material in there, and that's your catalytic converter. That's just a catalyst, and it reacts with the exhaust that's coming out and then burns off the bad shit, or what we're told is bad stuff. So anyways, and in turn that creates a hell of a lot of heat. You can see how the coloring on the muffler is deformed. This is from my pressure washer. If I was cleaning all the mud and dirt off of a good ride there quite a while ago now. So what I'm going to do is I bought a cheap masonry bit, a Black & Decker 10-inch, and then I should be able just to hammer away at it in there. Take it out of the package and show you, but I can't right now. So I've got a 1/2-inch hammer drill. I'm thinking that'll probably be sufficient from what it sounds like. Some guys would even just use regular drill bits to do that. So I don't really want to bugger up all my good drill bits because I might need them for something. And so I just went and bought a cheap masonry bit. You don't get much cheaper than Black & Decker, unfortunately. Used to be a good name once upon a time, but not so great anymore. There's my knife. Those peel off so miserably. So I made made a visit to Princess Auto earlier this afternoon and got myself a little clampy thingy here to hold, and a tripod to hold my phone, because I've got one of these Samsung Galaxy Android thingamajig phones here. I had an iPhone 4, but I've retired it to doing nothing much more than playing music in the car. So I have a lot of garbage to clean up here. So I'm surprised how heavy the muffler is. I was thinking of checking out some of the muffler places and see if they would make me a muffler or find something that would fit on here without restricting the power. Then I wouldn't have to go and beat the shit out of this and possibly get some of that stuff stuck in here. So it's about as far, that's about where you hit it. So somewhere about there. And hammer away at it, I guess. So, and then of course I'm not going to be holding it like this. I'm going to try and hold it at an angle so that all that shit falls out, but see how it goes. And a friend of mine said he'd help me. He's got a vise anyways. I don't really have proper shop set up in here. It's not like my old place when I was in Manitoba, where I had a pretty wicked shop there. The only problem was I never had any work out there, or not sufficient or steady enough work, so that's why the videos have been lacking for a long time, because we're in a bit of a recession here in Alberta, and there's forest fires raging up north. I'm in southern Alberta, so I'm safe from that. But forest fires raging in northern BC, northern Alberta, northern Saskatchewan now, with that Fort McMurray fire moved there, and forest fires in eastern Manitoba, southeastern Manitoba, kind of in the White Shell and Nopaming area, so all the prairies are on fire, kind of. It's pretty bad. So anyway, I wouldn't imagine if they're going to start calling out American firefighters, because I think almost all our boys are getting used up. And they're calling on volunteer firefighters to fight some of this. So, but yeah, just to recap, I had the header off. I wrapped it all up. It's not the prettiest job, but I'm hoping it helps deflect that heat away from the firewall, or at least keeps it inside the exhaust, and gives me less trouble with plastics. So I'm going to try and fire this thing up without the muffler on, see how freaking loud it is. I'm sure my neighbors will love it. They're all elderly. Anyway, yeah. So I was going to do the muffler thing, see how it works out, hammering out that stuff, that honeycomb of catalyst, and then after doing the rest of the heat proofing, then I might be ready to go riding pretty soon. I still want to do the snorkeling, but I haven't got around to doing that yet, and to see how much money I've got left. This is a heat-resistant material I bought. Don't give you a whole lot. It's got an adhesive back on it, and then you just cut it to whatever size you need and stick it on and pray for the best, I guess. So aluminized heat barrier adhesive backed. See, it doesn't focus very well. 2000 degrees radiant heat deflection reflects over 90% of radiant heat. So talk to you guys later.